Hello and welcome to What's in Store, our regular roundup of highlights of our stores up and down the country. This time brought to you from our Reading store, where I'm escaping the heat wave inside, where it's still tropical but a little bit cooler. See what you think of this time's offerings, and if you don't like them, you won't have to wait long until something else comes along. Enjoy.
The pond plant season is really in full swing now, and recent high temperatures have brought out the best in these plants, which usually don't have to worry about dry weather. As you can see from this video taken recently at our Cumbrain store, there's an awful lot to choose from in our pond sections. Whether you're after a water lily display worthy of Monet or a native bog plant to battle pesky algae growth, we've got you covered. Mandarin dragonets have been breaking the hearts of reef keepers for a long time. They're busy little fish that feed almost constantly, hunting tiny creatures in the rockwork and not being particularly interested in artificial food sources. Experienced reefers know that it takes a large and mature tank with plenty of invertebrate life to keep them healthy and well fed. That's unless you go for a tank-bred baby. As demand is way ahead of supply, tank-bred dragonets arrive at a much smaller size than you might expect, but they're weaned on artificial foods and associate humans with good things. As domestication marches on, today's betters are getting increasingly fancy. Turn the clock back a few decades and typically the Siamese Fighter was a long-finned fish with a single colour such as red or blue. Good specimens of these classic forms are still very pleasing to the eye and come with sturdy genes that have stood the test of time. The old advice still stands. Be careful mixing these fish with tank mates likely to nip those long fins and provide plenty of cover where they can lounge about, out of strong water movement. For the rare breed of fishkeeper who has an aquarium large enough to cater for their needs, gars have always been firm favourites. Except when lunging at prey, these are slow-moving predators, but their relatively inflexible body makes a long and wide aquarium essential. One of only 2 species permitted in the UK, these Florida gars, seen at our Swindon branch, are unlikely to be found in your local store, but are a long-term commitment and definitely worth travelling for. Platies are very popular community fish that have been bred into a vast array of forms, mostly by being crossed with swordtails or related species such as Variatus somewhere along the line. For this reason, there's often the same colour form in both swords and platies, with genes such as those responsible for the wagtail or black finnage trait being borrowed from swords. This mixed tank of platies shows a range of such traits, including Mickey Mouse, where the famous Disney logo appears sideways on the base of the tail. All of these forms will happily crossbreed, and youngsters often display a mixture of traits.